Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to go through what are, in my opinion, the coolest rewards you will be able to get during Legion Remix, and I will try each time to explain exactly how you will be able to obtain all these different rewards. So let's start with all the different unique rewards from Legion Remix, which are, in my opinion, what you should really go after, because these ones will be limited to Remix, and so it means that most likely they won't be coming back before some time once the event will end. So first we have the different Sargerei Commander Transmogs, and these are the ones that were advertised by Blizzard right away and that are actually really amazing. Especially here, I think the cloak is definitely the strongest piece of this entire set, because as you can see, first of all, this is basically the entire cloak right here. And then you also have this effect on the cloak, and this is the first time in the game that we're getting something like that. And then also all the other pieces are really well detailed and really nice. So overall, this is an amazing set, and we have 4 different variants. So this is the green or Fel version. Then we have the Void/purple version, which I think looks really cool as well. Then we have the light version right here, which is really cool. And finally, we also have the red and purple version, which again, I think just looks absolutely incredible. So the way you will be able to get these different sets are pretty different from one set to another. For the first one, which is the Fel one, you will simply need to complete the Legion Remix campaign. So here, basically, you will need to go to the point where you can do this quest right here, Shape a New Legend. So you need to amass Infinite Power, 1000 of them, 20 of the Infinite Research Assignment completed, and then you will just need to talk to Eternus, who is in the main market near Dalaran. So basically, normally this is something you will be able to do during the first phase, depending on your progression. And this is definitely the one that will be the easiest to get from all these different sets. Then for the second one, which is the Void one, we have the Eric Broken Isle World Quest achievement. So here you need to complete 100 world quests in Eric World Tier as a Legion Time Runner. So for this one, you will simply need to go again when there is the Infinite Bazaar, and here you will need to activate the Eric World Tier. This is something you can do pretty easily, as you can see, just by clicking on this machine. And then with that unlocked, you will simply need to go and complete 100 world quests while this Eric World Tier is activated. So this one is not going to be too challenging, especially once you will be max level and you will start to be a little bit geared up. Because while the Eric World Tier will make it a little more challenging to complete these different world quests, it's still something that is pretty easy. So it's just going to require you to do a lot of these world quests, but at the same time, you will get different type of rewards when doing so. So overall, this one is also not normally going to be too difficult. It's just going to be a little bit more time consuming. Then after that, for the Ensemble Sargerei Commander's Lightborne Regalia, which is this one right here, you will need to do all the different Mythic Legion Remix raids. So here basically you just need to complete all the different raids in Mythic difficulty. So this one, it's not going to be too difficult, simply because normally, especially once you will be a little bit geared up, you should be able to find some groups pretty easily to then do these different raids in Mythic difficulty. But the only issue is that you will need to wait for almost the last phase in order to get this set, simply because before that, most of the raids won't be available. So here, as you can see again, you will be able on October 8th to have access, for instance, to a few of these different raids. But then Nighthold will only be available on the 22nd of October. Then the Tomb of Sargeras will only be available on the 5th of November. And then finally Argus and Entorus will be available on the 19th of November. So it means that for this one, you will need to wait at least until the 19th of November before you are able to get it. And then finally, for the last one, the red version, which is this one right here, you will need to do one Keystone dungeon with a key level of 30 or greater with a time runner. So this one might seem like something that is going to be really difficult, but I'm sure that again, once you will have unlocked some pretty good pieces of gear and you will have increased your different stats and everything, it will be pretty easy to do. I know that even, for instance, on the PTR, some people were able to solo some keys at more than 30. So probably this is something that will be a little bit challenging at the beginning, but probably by the end of the event, you will be able to get this set way more easily. And this is something you can get directly at the start, which is a great news. But again, doing a plus 30 key during the first phase might be very challenging. So yeah, we'll have to see for this one. So the next item that I want to talk about is the new weapon illusion for Legion Remix, and this is the illusion Felshatter. So this one looks really interesting. As you can see, basically you will have a Fel portal that will spawn from the handle of your weapon, and basically you just hold it like that. So it gives the impression, as you can see, that your weapon is straight appearing from this portal, which personally I think is super cool. I know some of you are not the biggest fan, but I do think that this is really insane and something brand new. So overall, I'm very excited for these specific rewards. In order to get it, it's going to be actually very simple. You will simply need to get this achievement done, Valshara. So you need to complete 2 of the following achievements with a time runner. The first one is the campaign Valshara. So here, basically, you just need to do the entire storyline with your time runner. Then you have the tour Valshara, recover treasures, defeat rare enemies, and reveal the covered areas of Valshara with a time river. So basically exploration, treasure picking, and then killing the rares. Then you have the looking for group. So here you need to complete the different group activities, which are like, for instance, the raid, dungeons, and things like that. And finally, the reputation one that will require you to earn Exalted with the Dreamweavers. So here, personally, the ones I would recommend you to do is simply the Tour Valshara. This one is usually very easy to do. And then probably also the campaign one, simply because this is one of the best way to level up by simply doing all the different quests. You will also get the Perfected Epoch Memento, which is going to be very important for you when you're leveling up. And this is something overall that I think is not too difficult to do. Otherwise, of course, the looking for group might also be a good idea, especially if you're going for the over rewards. You will anyway need to do most of these. So overall, something very easy to get. The next reward that I want to talk about is going to be the Kaldorei Queen's Royal Vestments. So this one is basically the Queen Ashara Transmog. And I'm personally a big fan because I think all the different pieces of this ensemble are super nice, super well detailed. This is also the only transmog in the game that will allow you to get this one side robe right here, which I think is really cool. And then you will also be able to get all these other pieces of transmog, such as the diadem, the necklace. You also have the things around the feet. So overall, this is something that is really unique and something that I'm sure many of you are super excited to get. So the way you are getting this transmog set is also very simple. Basically, you will need to go in Suramar, and here you will need to do again 2 of the following achievements. So very similar, you have the campaign, you have the tour Suramar, the looking for group, and then the night Fallen. So again, here I would probably say that the tour and campaign are the easiest ones to do, but looking for group might be a good option as well. So something that, again, normally if you're playing a little bit Legion Remix should not be an issue for you to complete even during the first phase. However, just remember that, for instance, for the campaign Suramar and also the looking for group Suramar, you won't be able to do that before the 22nd of October because this is when the Suramar campaign, Nightwell, and all of that will become available. So before that, you might be able, I believe, to earn Exalted if you're really fast. I'm not exactly sure if that will be possible or not to do, but that might be the case. And then maybe tour Suramar as well. But yeah, that's just something for you to remember. The next item on our list is the Fallen King's Corrupted Blades. So here, for this one, you will be able to receive these 3 different swords. So first you have the 2-handed sword right here. You then have the 1-handed sword and also this other one right here. So personally, I do really like these different weapons. These are obviously the corrupted version of Variant's weapons. And the way you will be able to get them is by simply doing the same achievement, but this time for the Broken Shore. So again, you will have Breaching the Tomb, which is the Legion Fall campaign. Then you have Explore the Broken Shore. Then you have the Looking for Group, the Broken Shore, and finally the Armies of Legion Fall. So you'll just need to be exalted with this one. So here again, remember that, for instance, for this one, the Legion Fall and Broken Shore will only be available on the 5th of November. So it means that normally you will need to wait before being able to get these. And then we have finally the same for Argus, and this time you will be able to get the Bulwark of Mannoroth. So here it will be both a shield and also a back piece, which I think is pretty cool. So again, here you will simply need to do either you are now prepared, the Tour Argus, looking for group Argus, or the Argusian Rich, and you just need to complete 2 of them. So definitely I think Tour Argus is going to be pretty easy and also looking for groups, but even the campaign is probably not going to be too challenging. But just remember that for these ones, you will only be able to start doing it after November 19th. Simply because, again, before that, this content won't be available. Another cool category of rewards are the new Felorderal class mounts. So here you have basically the same as the ones we got back in Legion, but this is the Fel version each time. So personally, I do really like the concept. I think some of them are better than others. Sadly, for a few of them, the difference compared to the ones that are available in the Legion version of the game are not that different, but for others, this is really, really cool. Especially here, personally, I love, for instance, the Monk one. I love the Demon Hunter one, also the Mage one. And then you also have the Shaman and Warrior ones. In my opinion, these are really the best ones. So then you have the Rogue right here. You have the Shaman. Then you have the Warlock. The Warlock is very similar to what players already got before. And then you also have the Warrior. So the way you will be able to get all these different mounts is actually pretty simple. You have 2 main ways. The first one is by simply reaching level 80 with each class, and each time you will receive one of these mounts. So for instance, if you reach level 80 with a Death Knight, you will get this mount right here. And then if you reach level 80 with a Demon Hunter, you will get this mount here. But if you don't want to have to level up so many of these different classes, what you can simply do is then use your bronze in order to buy them from the vendor that will be located in the Infinite Bazaar near Dalaran. And here it will cost you 20,000 bronze each. So this is something that is honestly really easy to do, and you don't need to be, for instance, on the Demon Hunter in order to buy and learn the Demon Hunter mount. If you only have one character level 80, you can buy all the mounts on this character and use all of them. But then, of course, you will only be able to use the respective mounts on the right class. So still something very easy to get overall. Another very interesting reward will come from the Mythic Enterers achievement. So here, basically, you need to kill all the different bosses inside of Mythic Enterers. And when you do so, you will be able to get this item right here, the Felscorned Scythe of the Unmaker, which is the Fel version of the Scythe of the Unmaker. So this is something that personally I think looks really, really good. And yeah, I'm just very excited about these specific rewards. And you will normally have both the staff, I believe, and also the polearm version. Now, I also want to talk about a few of the new exclusive models or recolors that we are getting with Legion Remix, because there's a few of them that are really, really cool. The first one is obviously the new Eagle mount. So this is the first time that we're getting an Eagle mount. And also I love the fact that there's no armors or anything on it. So you have 2 versions. You have this one right here, and then you also have the snowy version. So these 2 have been things that players have been asking for quite some time. So it's nice that we're finally going to be able to get them in the game. Then there's also all the different Fel bats, and I think this is a definitely like good addition because some of them are really, really cool, such as for instance this one right here. Personally, I think these are even cooler than the Gladiator's mount from the War Within. Then we also have the unarmored PvP mounts. So here, this one in particular is something that I think looks really cool. And then you basically have the same for all the other colors. The other one that I really want to mention are the new reigns of the different death chargers, basically. from the Death Knight questline. I think these ones are so good, especially this one is my favorite one. And I'm just so happy that we're finally going to be able to have them as mounts in the game. So definitely something I'm also looking forward to. And the way you will be able to get these mounts is very simple. You'll simply need to buy them from the different vendors and it will only cost you 10,000 bronze. And here, the only thing you have to wait for is for the right content to be released in order to have access to the mounts. So for instance, for the different death chargers, it will be with the second phase. And then for some of the other ones, you will need to wait even longer. Another reward that I'm personally very excited for is the arsenal for Odyn's spears. So here, when you learn this, you will receive these 2 appearances right here. So these 2 are really cool. These are 2 pod arms and they're just super massive and I think they just look very nice. Especially I love the different effects on both of these different weapons. So this one will actually be pretty easy to get. Basically, you will simply need to use your bronze and then to buy it from Unicus, who is also located in the Infinite Bazaar. From the same vendor, you will also have this other arsenal. So here, these are not completely unique because basically we got some similar appearances from the training post. But I think this is the first time we're getting the green version and I think it looks really good. So again, it will probably go very well with some of the different appearances we will be able to get with Legendary Mix. And so overall, I'm also excited for this. And again, this is something you will be able to buy right away for 7,500 of the bronze. So fairly easy to get. Another category of items I'm very excited for are the new recolored heritage armor sets for Nightborns and also Lightforged Dranei. So for the Nightborns, you will be able to get this red version right here, which I think is one of the most beautiful set I've ever seen in the game. This is definitely something that I think looks absolutely so amazing. And then you also have the other ones for the Lightforged Dranei. So you have this crimson version right here. You then have the light version. And finally, you have the purple version. So all of them will be available from the same vendor, but you will need to wait for the Argus content to be released before being able to buy them from the vendor. So again, very easy to get. You will just need to wait a little bit longer. Then there is also this other Ensemble Mantles of the Nightwell. So here you will be able to buy it from the same vendor for 7,500 as well. And it will be available right away. And when you learn it, you will receive 2 different types of shoulder cosmetics. So first you have this one right here with the spectral feathers. This is definitely themed after the Nightborns. And then you have the other one which is even better. This is also really cool and themed after the Nightborns. And I think this one is something that players are going to be able to use to create some really unique Transmog sets. Then from the same vendor, again, you have the Arsenal Immortal Maces. So again, super easy to get. And when you learn this one, you will receive 4 of these different models. Now, of course, we are getting some of these rare items and cosmetics from Legion, but here the 2 that I really want to bring your attention to and that I think you'll still need to get even if you already have them in the live version of the game are Taishalash, because as you can see with this one, basically you will be able to unlock the main appearance, which is the 2-handed sword, but also a 1-handed sword version. So this is, I think, something that is really cool because like that, it means that if you're playing on a rogue or any other classes that can equip 1-handed swords, you will be able to also have your little Taishalash. So this is something that is really nice. And then similar with the Scythe of the Unmaker, here you will be able to unlock both the red and the blue version. But also the difference is that instead of only having the polearm version, you will be able to also unlock the different staff version. So definitely something worth doing because right now in the live version of the game, you can only get these as polearms, and so now you will also be able to get them as staffs. And the way you get these different weapons is not too difficult. Basically, you will need to buy them from a vendor that is also located in the Infinite Bazaar. And here it will cost you 30,000 bronze each, but then you will also need to get these different items that will drop from the respective boss that normally drop these items. So for instance, here for Taishalash, you will need to get the Everflame of Hatred, and you will be able to earn them by defeating a Grammar on normal higher difficulty in Enters. And then for the Scythe of the Unmaker, it will be the Cosmic Soul Silver, and you will be able to get these from Argus. In terms of the items that are being re-added to the game, the ones that I think are really worth mentioning and going after include the Trail of Valor Chosen Ensembles. So these ones were available back in Legion, and you needed to do the Trail Star on Mythic difficulty without dying. But it was removed from the game after that, and now you will be able to get them again, and you will need to do the same thing. So as you can see, for instance, here, you will need to complete the Trail of Style Mythic difficulty without dying as a Warlock, Mage, or Priest, and then you will receive the Clove version of the set. So you'll need to do the same with the different ones. So you have the Clove set right here, which I think looks really cool. You then have the Lever set right here. You then have the Mail set, which I think is really nice, especially I love this color scheme. I think this is the best one for the mail set. And then of course we have the plate one, which is really nice as well. And especially it will go well with the new cloak from the Sargerei set. So definitely some good things you can do right here with this ensemble. Then there's of course also the Violet Spellwing mount that is coming back. This is the Eye of the Curve mount from Taurus that was removed from the game by the end of Legion. And so this one, we don't know yet how you will be able to get it in Legion Remix, but it's probably going to be something similar. And I would definitely recommend you to try and get it if you don't already have it in the game, simply because this is a pretty nice looking mount, and I'm definitely not sure if they will ever bring it back after that. Finally, the last two things that I want to mention are these two ensembles right here. So these are already available in the game, but they're pretty annoying to get. And now you will be able to get them directly from the vendor for 10,000 each. So this is honestly really easy to get, and these are unique appearances from Argus that I think still look till this day super cool. And so really something that you might want to get while Legion Remix is up, because these are definitely a pain to get in the live version of the game. And in my opinion, again, they look really awesome. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know in the comments which ones you really like and the ones you will try to prioritize. And also let me know if I maybe missed any other cool rewards that will become available with Legion Remix. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great day. Bye!